As Camilla chatted about the latest royal engagements, a hush fell over the room. Diana's presence felt strong, even though she had not yet appeared. It was a moment filled with heavy anticipation. Little did Camilla know, the air crackled with unspoken tension. Everyone waited for the inevitable entrance that would change everything. In the heart of East London, the hospice served as a sanctuary for many. But on that day, it became a stage for something profound. Diana arrived, her presence instantly brightening the dimly lit corridors. She moved with purpose, her genuine interest in each patient, clear as she approached Gerald. His eyes sparkled with unexpected joy. "How are you feeling today?" she asked, her voice soft yet warm. Gerald, initially taken aback, broke into a wide smile, one that spoke volumes of gratitude. Diana listened intently as he shared stories of his life. Her empathy drew out tales of hope amid despair. Each patient felt the weight of her compassion, as if their struggles lightened in her presence. It was a dance of human connection, where time seemed to pause, creating moments that transcended the hospice walls. As she walked through the corridor, whispers of appreciation filled the air. She felt a palpable shift in the atmosphere, a testament to her impact. But as she left, a question lingered. Could one visit truly change a life forever? The answer, as she would soon discover, was more complex than it seemed. In the realm of human emotions and connections, even a fleeting moment can ignite a spark of hope, fostering resilience and strength. For 40 minutes, Diana and Gerald shared a world filled with laughter and poignant memories. As they spoke, the air carried the earthy aroma of the allotment. It brought back vivid recollections of sun-kissed vegetables and freshly turned soil. Gerald's voice trembled with excitement as he described the vibrant tomatoes and fragrant herbs he had nurtured. He painted a picture that captivated Diana. In that moment, their connection deepened, becoming a sanctuary from the stark realities around them. Yet, beneath the surface, a tension simmered. Each shared laugh carried the weight of time slipping away. Diana's eyes glistened with empathy as she listened, her heart aching for the stories left untold. The fleeting nature of their encounter weighed on them both. It served as a reminder that while they were together, the world outside was waiting, relentless. As they spoke of gardens and dreams, they felt an unspoken understanding. This moment was precious and perhaps life-changing. Would this brief encounter inspire Gerald to find a renewed sense of purpose, or would it remain a fleeting memory? As their conversation drew to a close, a silence settled between Diana and Gerald. It was filled with an understanding that went beyond words. In that quiet moment, the weight of their shared experiences hung in the air. It was a testament to the bond they had forged. Diana's empathetic nature radiated warmth, wrapping Gerald in a cocoon of solace he had long yearned for. He felt seen, his struggles acknowledged without judgment. This was a powerful reminder of the healing that genuine human connection can bring. Gerald's heart brimmed with gratitude, knowing this encounter would linger long after Diana had left. She had not only listened, but truly understood the essence of his journey. She offered him a glimpse of hope. The impact of her kindness was profound. It sparked a flicker of joy in his eyes that had been dimmed for far too long. As she stood to leave, Gerald whispered, "Thank you for seeing me." It was a simple, yet poignant farewell that encapsulated it all. Would this moment of connection inspire him to embrace life anew, or would he return to the shadows of despair? At Hartfield House, the atmosphere was thick with the scent of polished wood and simmering tension. Lady Ashworth's gathering, initially meant for light-hearted chit-chat, took a sharp turn as Camilla began to voice her opinions about Diana. "She's far too emotional for the royal family," Camilla remarked, her tone dripping with disdain. Their laughter, once vibrant, began to fade into an uneasy silence as Sarah observed the shifting dynamics. Her gaze darted between the guests, noting the subtle exchanges and whispered comments that revealed deeper currents of jealousy and resentment. Sarah felt a knot form in her stomach, recognizing that the very essence of their conversation was a direct reflection of their insecurities. The room buzzed with speculation, as whispers about Diana's compassion morphed into criticisms of her public persona. Each comment seemed to amplify the tension, laying the groundwork for conflict. It was clear the gathering was no longer just an assembly of friends, but a battleground of opinions, with Diana at the center of it all. Would this gathering become a turning point in how they perceived Diana, or would it further entrench their biases? As soft laughter echoed in the room, Camilla leaned in. Her eyes glinted with mischief. "You know, Diana's just putting on a performance," she quipped, smirking. The comment rippled through the gathering. Nods of agreement followed, as if a dangerous thread of consensus wove its way through the crowd. Sarah felt a conflict stir within her. She was torn between the familiar camaraderie of her friends and her growing unease about their harsh judgments. She knew Diana's genuine spirit, yet in this moment, the weight of society's skewed perceptions pressed heavily on her. The laughter now felt hollow. It masked an undercurrent of disdain that threatened to engulf them all. Camilla's remark hung in the air, challenging those who dared to see Diana differently. Was it truly a performance? Or had the world turned a blind eye to her sincerity? The tension thickened, leaving Sarah questioning her own beliefs. Could she find the courage to voice her discomfort? Or would she remain silent in the face of her friend's negativity? Just as the laughter began to settle into an uneasy silence, the door swung open, and there stood Diana, her smile radiating warmth that instantly filled the room. The atmosphere shifted dramatically. The previous conversations about her felt like whispers in the wind. Eyes widened, and conversations stuttered to a halt, revealing the complex social dynamics at play. Camilla's expression faltered, her previous bravado momentarily dimmed by the very presence she had critiqued. Diana, blissfully unaware of the tension she had just stepped into, walked in with an air of genuine curiosity, greeting everyone as if they were old friends. Her confidence seemed to brighten the space, a stark contrast to the undercurrents of unease that had been swirling just moments before. Yet, beneath the surface, a layer of discomfort brewed, a stark juxtaposition to her bright demeanor. Sarah watched the reactions unfold, her heart racing as she sensed the impending confrontation. Would Diana's light pierce through the shadows cast by their judgments, or would the room's atmosphere darken further under the weight of unspoken truths? It was a moment poised on the edge of revelation or rejection. The weight of each unacknowledged comment hung in the air, creating a tension that was palpable. This was not merely about Diana. It was a reflection of their own insecurities, fears, and the often harsh judgments they cast upon one another. The stakes felt higher now, as everyone wondered how this encounter would redefine their relationships moving forward. As the scene unfolds, think about this. How do you perceive Diana? Is she just a figure defined by her public persona? Or do her private actions reveal a different story? Reflect on the contrast between the woman you see in the media and the one who brings comfort to those in need. What's your perspective? Diana stepped further into the room. Her real smile illuminated her features as she took in the scene. With graceful composure, she acknowledged the awkward silence that had enveloped the gathering. "I hope I'm not interrupting a scandalous discussion about me," she quipped. Her lightheartedness broke the tension like a ray of sunshine. Laughter erupted, easing the discomfort that had lingered moments before. Diana's ability to diffuse the atmosphere with humor showed her genuine nature. She moved through the room, engaging each guest with authentic interest. Her presence was a balm to the unease that filled the air. It was as if she understood the weight of the judgments cast upon her. Yet she chose to counter them with kindness and warmth. Her calm demeanor reminded everyone of the humanity often lost in public scrutiny. As she spoke, the room transformed. For a fleeting moment, the complexities of social dynamics faded into the background. Would this moment of levity change their perceptions, or would the doubts still linger? As Diana departed, the room gradually quieted, the echoes of her laughter lingering like a distant melody. Conversations, once lively, turned cautious, each word weighed with new meaning. Camilla's demeanor shifted noticeably. Her earlier bravado had faded, replaced by a contemplative silence that spoke volumes. Guests exchanged glances, unsure of how to navigate the aftershocks of Diana's visit. The impact of her kindness had created a palpable tension, challenging the narratives they had woven about her. Sarah felt the atmosphere thickening, as if the walls themselves held their collective thoughts, questions about authenticity and the nature of compassion swirling unspoken among them. The lightheartedness that had marked the gathering now felt like a fragile veneer, easily shattered by the weight of their judgments. What was once a space for critique had transformed into a breeding ground for reflection, forcing each person to confront their own biases. Would they continue to uphold their perceptions, or could they allow Diana's presence to reshape their understanding of who she truly was? The challenge lay not just in reevaluating Diana, but in facing the uncomfortable truths about themselves. They were confronted with the realization that their judgments had often been superficial, clouded by assumptions rather than genuine understanding. As the evening unfolded in silence, the guests began to ponder the broader implications of empathy in their own lives. How often had they dismissed the struggles of others without truly considering their stories? Each minute that passed felt like an invitation to dig deeper into their own hearts and minds, urging them to question their long-held beliefs and recognize the shared humanity that they often overlooked. In this moment of introspection, it became clear: real change begins not with the world outside, but within each individual present in that room. In the quiet aftermath, Sarah found herself lost in thought. She grappled with the duality of Diana's existence. Sarah had witnessed the genuine nature that radiated from Diana during the hospice visit. This was a stark contrast to the persona often portrayed in the media. It nagged at her. How could someone so compassionate be reduced to mere headlines? Sarah pondered the idea of an audience versus no audience. Diana's acts of kindness often happened away from the flashing cameras, in spaces where her heart could breathe. Even in private moments, the impact was profound. The warmth Diana brought to Gerald rippled through the room. It challenged the perceptions that had been so easily accepted. As Sarah reflected, she felt a shift within herself. She realized that the narratives crafted around public figures were not only simplistic, but also unfair. Could she, and those around her, let go of preconceived judgments? Could they embrace the complexity of who Diana truly was? The question surged within her, a beckoning to explore uncharted territories of understanding. During her visit to the children's ward in Birmingham, Diana stepped into a world of uncertainty, yet her presence felt like sunlight breaking through the clouds. As she approached Louise, a shy girl with wide, curious eyes, the atmosphere shifted. Diana knelt to her level, her smile warm and inviting. This instantly eased the tension in the air. "What's your favorite color?" she asked gently, drawing Louise out of her shell. The girl hesitated, then whispered, "Pink." That simple exchange sparked laughter, Louise's first genuine laugh in weeks. It was a sound so pure, it echoed through the ward. Diana's ability to connect with the children was unmatched. She had a special talent for making each child feel seen and cherished. The room filled with light as laughter bounced off the walls, a stark contrast to the somber atmosphere. In those moments, Diana wasn't just a royal figure. She was a source of joy. She reminded everyone that compassion could spark hope, even in the darkest times. Could these moments of connection inspire lasting change in the children's lives? As the dinner conversation unfolded, guests began to understand Diana on a deeper level. They shared stories of her genuine moments. Each anecdote peeled back layers of the public persona they often criticized. It became clear that her true essence lay in her ability to connect authentically. She transcended the expectations of royal performance. The audience aspect of her life, once seen as a burden, revealed itself as a platform for compassion and change. Each visit to the hospice and every laugh shared with children painted a picture of a woman who was more than just a figurehead. She was a beacon of empathy. Diana understood the weight of the world, yet chose to face it with grace. As they reflected on their earlier judgments, it was clear her true self shone brightest in quiet moments. She was simply being herself, not performing for the world, but genuinely connecting with it. In the end, this authenticity left the most profound impact. Would this newfound understanding inspire them to change their perceptions of others as well? As Sarah sat in quiet reflection, she pondered the lasting impact of Diana's true moments. These were the moments that transcended the superficiality of public life. It became clear to her that genuine experiences linger in the hearts of those who share them. Diana's essence was woven into the fabric of true human connection. She reminded us that empathy can ripple through lives in ways we often overlook. The laughter shared with children and the heartfelt conversations with patients created unbreakable ties. Sarah realized these moments were not just fleeting interactions. They were seeds planted in the soil of human experience, capable of blossoming into profound change. In a world quick to judge and criticize, Diana's authenticity shone like a beacon. It urged those around her to embrace vulnerability and kindness. As Sarah reflected on her own perceptions, she understood that a person's true measure lies not in their public performance, but in the depth of their heart. This understanding would stay with her, a lasting legacy of Diana's spirit. Would she be able to carry this lesson forward in her own life? In the end, Diana's life teaches us a profound truth. Authenticity resonates deeper than any performance. Her genuine connections, filled with compassion and empathy, remind us that true moments leave lasting impressions. As we reflect on her legacy, let's cherish the power of being real in a world that often demands a facade. As we conclude, take a moment to reflect on your experiences with authenticity and connection. How have genuine moments shaped your life? Join us in celebrating the beauty of being real. Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's continue this conversation about the lasting impact of true moments.